Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining me today in our second episode of our Insights Bootcamp webinar series. Now, for everyone who didn't join our first episode last week, let me give you a very quick introduction. My name is Suarez. I'm a product marketing manager here at MarketLogic and your host of today's session. I'm also joined by my lovely colleague and customer onboarding expert, Sabrina Bushman. She will be walking us through the platform demo later on. But before we begin, let me take a moment to explain your On24 screen. You will see the chat box here on the screen. You can post questions in that box whenever they come up. This will be open for the entire session, and we can address some of the questions later on. I'm excited for you to join us for a series of webinars as we dive into 4 essential topics across 4 engaging episodes. Each episode delves into familiar use cases that resonate with insights and intelligence professionals like yourself. In these concise 20 to 30-minute sessions, we will showcase how the MarketLogic Insights platform empowers you to conquer your daily challenges and achieve better and faster outcomes with ease. The first 2 episodes are all about engaging your business stakeholders to inspire action. Now, last week, we have already explored with you how to tell powerful stories. Today, it's all about delivering insights faster. But before we get started on today's topic, let me give you a quick outlook on what you can expect in the second half of this webinar series. In episode 3 and 4, discover the power of research management and automation. We will uncover the tools to expedite your research processes through templated best practices, saving you from starting from square one. Episode 4 hones in on compliance, demonstrating how you can effortlessly deliver market research that adheres to 100% compliance with both internal and external requirements and reporting obligations. Now, this is especially crucial for industries like healthcare and pharmaceuticals, where stringent regulations demand utmost precision. A few words on who we are for those of you who are joining today for the first time. MarketLogic is the market-leading provider of insights management solutions with the goal to help companies becoming insights-driven. Our AI-enabled insights engagement platform helps consumer-focused companies equip their leaders at scale with the trusted insights they need to make smarter moves. For over 15 years, we've helped hundreds of consumer-focused brands across the globe transform into insights-driven businesses. We're supporting market leaders such as Tesco, Dyson, Vodafone, driving innovation every day with the support of MarketLogic. Now, let's get started on today's topic, how to deliver insights faster to ensure the right people at the right time get the right information to inspire action and impact the overall business strategy. Now, let's take a step back and look at some of the challenges we see. We operate in a rapidly changing business environment. Digitization really has accelerated the speed of change in consumer preferences and behaviors. New market opportunities are emerging just as quickly as others vanish. And the explosion of data makes it very hard to comprehend and catch up. Now, at the same time, we hear the common pain point of customers and insights professionals that they really struggle to serve their stakeholders with real-time and relevant information at scale. Now, here's what the technology can really help. Creating one single hub to connect with your business stakeholders, having all your insights and aggregated intelligence in one tool, enabling that holistic view of the market to see the bigger picture and connecting the dots. Now, from that hub, pushing out fast-paced external information at scale in a way that empowers your decision makers to be competitive in that ever-changing business environment. And promoting key insights so that customer and market insights get into the hands of your business managers across all your categories and business lines faster and more streamlined. MarketLogic's Insights platform supports all of these use cases for keeping your stakeholders up to date. These capabilities are deployed across a number of our customers. For example, the retail giant Rave, who serves a few thousand stakeholders with their push newsletters. Another example to mention here is Prudential. Now let's jump into the tool and see hands-on how it works. Over to you, Sabrina.
Thanks, Tanya. Hi, everyone. I'm Sabrina. As you've heard, the customer onboarding expert, and I have been working here at MarketLogic for over 7 years now. I work with all of our customers on ensuring that their user bases, so the people actually utilizing the platform in their day-to-day, are equipped, empowered, and enabled to really make the most of it. And today, as Tanya already mentioned, it's all about getting the right information to the right people at the right time. So let me switch over to my browser here because I want to show you different options that you as experts have to achieve exactly that. We'll start with option number 1, our curated newsletter, which allows you, as the name suggests, to really meet your stakeholders where they're at in their email inbox. Option number 2 then is all about promoting content on the homepage. And this allows you as an expert to, go for the expensive real estate that is up for grabs here on the homepage to put relevant, meaningful content right here so that people see it the moment they log in, available at first glance, essentially. Option number 3 then is all about highlighting key results within the search area. I'll show you, of course, what that looks like toward the end of the demonstration, but let's maybe get started with our option number 1, the curated newsletter. And I will just navigate to our Deliver News application, where you can see my Deliver News inbox. Now, just for you to have the whole picture, you can see 3 tabs available here. The very first one, the feeds, this is actually where the content comes into the system and where you can define feeds, set up parameters so that only relevant information is coming through. You can utilize filters, search operators, and make sure that this is really as meaningful, as interesting for both you and your stakeholders as possible. And then when you have a feed, you can decide whether you want to make it available through a news channel. This is a self-service element, or if you want to include it in a newsletter. Of course, today's focus topic. When we talk about newsletters, there are, of course, endless options and use cases for them. You can think about, for example, providing a weekly news flash per category to your target audience. There can be as many newsletters as you would want to. Maybe think about a monthly competitor intel alert. All of this is possible. And as Tanya said, we do have customers that really, really heavily utilize this module, with Rewe, really reaching over 2,000 key stakeholders with highly personalized and relevant information whenever they send their newsletters. You can have different newsletters for different business units, segments, TAs, depending on how you have organized your organization. And of course, you can also design them to your liking, to the team's liking, and all of them can have their own look and feel. I've prepared a little example so we can have a look together today. And when I open this up, the first thing that I just wanted to highlight for you is in the settings, because this is, of course, where you can define who is the target audience. So we talked about reaching the right people. This is exactly where you can indicate who the intended audience is. And this is also where you can, on a very granular level, decide when the information goes out here. From here, I'm moving on to the builder, and this is where, you can go ahead and really design the look and feel of your newsletter. You can see it's super easy here by just uploading a few images, including a few elements of text to have a newsletter shell that already looks good, but it is also possible to really customize this to your own liking. If you're asking yourself, can this newsletter really reflect my branding? Can my CI shine through the newsletter? The answer is yes. You can upload HTML templates with your font, with your colors, and really make this your own, make it beautiful. If I scroll down a little bit further, we are looking here at what we call the section organizer. And this is essentially where you decide which feeds, if you recall, those streams of content that you can define, can set up with parameters, which feeds you want to include. We have 3 feeds that we're including here in our newsletter. And then another decision, because of course, everything is totally up to you. You're always in the driver's seat. You can also decide how many content cards, how many items per feed do you want to be displayed when the newsletter is sent. If I scroll down to the bottom here, this is what I was talking about earlier, where you can upload HTML templates, where you can really make this your own. We have customers who use a different template, a different look and feel for all of their business units. So this is something that can be easily done, that gives this also a visually differentiation and just looks great and in line with your branding, of course. Now, you have essentially 2 choices when it comes to newsletters. You can fully automate them. And this is something that we're utilizing heavily also internally here at MarketLogic. We have, as you can imagine, a lot of release notes. And each time they become available, they will just automatically be sent out to the entire organization, the entire company, by an automated newsletter. No one's reviewing this. No one needs to dedicate time in ensuring the information is there, because the feed is set up correctly, the newsletter is scheduled and set up correctly, and then that's all there is to do. And we can sit back and just wait for the new information to come in. So full automation is a choice that you can make. You can, however, also have a little bit more control over what exactly is included in the newsletter before it goes out. So in the content tab here, I can review my chosen sections, online groceries, plant-based products, and so on and so forth. And I can have a look whether those content cards are actually the ones that I find most relevant. Should that not be the case, I can go ahead and remove one. It will be replaced with the next one, of course, because we have chosen to include 3 items per section in the newsletter previously. If you want this extra element of curation, contextualizing, if you maybe want to provide a little bit of commentary around one of those topics, or you just have something on your mind that you want to share with your teams, with your stakeholders, that is absolutely no problem. You can at any point in time, and of course before sending the newsletter, create what we call a news post. This is essentially a piece of expert contribution, if you will. And if you have already watched our webinar last week, you know, not so good at talking and typing at the same time. So I've prepared some text here to fill in this news post that I've now created. I'm going to upload an image along with it so that it looks nice. And if I want to, I can include a link or a document to it as well. Now, this news post will actually be part of the feed that I have shown you, the section essentially. It will be one of the items that is going to be sent out with the newsletter. If you ever want to test out your newsletter, you just want to ensure it looks exactly as you intended, that is not a problem as well. You can send yourself a little sneak peek. Just click here on the preview button in the top right corner. And let me go ahead and check my Outlook now, where the newsletter, of course, should appear shortly. And here it is. I'm going to open it up so we can have a look together. We have, of course, the personalized message here, the user's first name. We have a table of content. We can jump to the area that interests us most, the expert news post that we've just created, and then, of course, all of the other elements that are part of this newsletter. Yes, and this is really a great way to ensure that the right information gets to the right people at the right time. Again, you have the choice to either fully automate it or to review it, to send it at any time that you see fit. The newsletter module is really, I would say, a great way to ensure that, important information does not go unnoticed, is not missed, is always reaching your stakeholders, your team, whenever they should be aware of it. And this brings me already to option number 2 for today's demonstration, all about, promoting content right on the homepage. When we look at the homepage here, you can see I have a few channels, the announcements, latest research, quick links, and this essentially makes my homepage as a user maybe interesting for you to know. Users actually have the possibility to personalize the experience. There are more channels that could be added in. There are some channels that people can opt out of. That is not a problem at all. But there are some channels that people have to see on their homepage, including the announcements, quick links, and then something that we call expert channels. The announcements are always just a little bit bigger than the rest of the information. They're really meant to draw users in. They're the focal point. And each time someone accesses the system, this is what they should look at. This is where they will see the most interesting, the latest information that is meaningful to them. If you as an expert want to decide what to put here and want to highlight, to feature a specific research project, a knowledge zone, or an expert news post, that is super easily done. Let me show you how to add, for example, the news post we just created when looking at the newsletter. So I'll jump into the search area. I go in with a search term over here. And I will switch to my news tab to hopefully, there it is, find the news post that I want to highlight now. Click here on the 3-dot menu to add it to my announcement channel. And then when I come back to the home page and just quickly refresh my screen, you will see that this now appears here in the pole position. It really draws us in, of course. And then all of the other posts just move one step, one position to the right. So I'm always highlighting 4 different content items, of course, highlighting, really focusing on the latest one. And there's one more thing that I wanted to show you when it comes about promoting content on a homepage, and that is what we call creating an expert channel. Now, while the announcements are great to make, as the name suggests, big announcements, maybe process changes, ways of working, success stories, anything relevant for the entire user base that really should not be missed, you can also utilize more targeted expert channels where maybe you collect and you curate information around a specific category, a specific product or brand or team, and then you only make it available to the target audience that it is relevant for. Let me show you how this works. I'm going through activities into my Announce on Home application. And in here, I will move to the expert channels. Just want to show you how quick and easy it is to actually set this up. And I will now create a channel around the topic of food packaging. Maybe a little description, and then of course defining the target audience. Is this relevant for everyone? If so, of course, this can be the target audience, no problem. Most of the time, expert channels are a little bit more targeted and should really reach the team or the few people that are involved with the topic at hand. In our case, I will just go ahead, target myself here, but of course you can go for the group, for the team that might find this relevant and helpful. And now that we do have the channel already, we want to fill it with content. This works very similarly to what we have seen with the expert channel earlier. Now we said this is all around food packaging. So let me come into the search area, enter a search term. And now I will just go ahead and find information that I want to highlight in the channel. So this is not about reinventing the wheel. I'm not creating content. I'm just making it available in a prime spot so that my intended target audience doesn't miss it and is always aware of anything that I add in here so that they really have a full picture of the information available. I'm just choosing a few of them here to put in. And then once I've done this, let me come back to the home page. We will now see food packaging. This is where our channel is. Zooming out a little bit, we do have a responsive screen, so it depends a little bit on your zooming preferences, your screen size, how many channels you see at once. But if I just opt out of the strategic knowledge one, as I've shown you earlier, then I now have my new channel here highlighting some of the most important reports, knowledge zones, expert news posts that I want my intended audience to see. Yes, and this was option 2, promoting content on the homepage. Option 3, super quick and easy. This is about highlighting key results within the search area. Think of Google Ads almost, because it allows you to pin a certain content card, a certain result to the top of the list, regardless of whether the person is actually searching for the right keyword to find it. Now, this is also about anticipating how people might think about concepts or which vocabulary, which wording they use to look for information. Let's say I'm a marketer and I want to see everything about plant-based food, fantastic, but I'm actually just using my own vocabulary here. So I'm going to type in vegan food. I hit enter, and what I will see now is that there's a promoted item at the top of my list. I can tell you the word vegan is not mentioned in this document at all. However, because I set this up previously as an expert, anticipating how would someone search for this, I'm ensuring that even if someone doesn't know what they don't know, just using their own language, which is perfectly fine, that they do not miss the most important, in this case, report, the must reads that you really want them to notice. And by the way, this promotion here does not only pin the result to the top in the very first tab, all results, but even if now your stakeholder, the user, would say, oh, I just want to see knowledge zones that revolve around vegan food, they still would see the pinned top result just to ensure that it does not go unnoticed. Yes. And these are the different options that you have to really make sure that you get the right information to the right people at the right time. And with this, I will hand it back over to Tanya. And of course, I hope to see a few of you next time in our episode number 3.
Thanks, Sabrina, for this very informative demonstration. I love seeing the tool in action. Now, let me summarize with some key takeaways. 1, define your target audience to be able to systematically share with your stakeholders. So really define who needs what. It's really easy to set up those different channels and newsletters to the different target audiences in the tool. Organize your content and cluster it into meaningful topics that can then be socialized with your stakeholders. Remember, your business peers are looking for guidance from you, so scanning and structuring the information makes it easier for them to grasp and really increase engagement. Also decide on how you want to make that content available. So either push the content to people's spaces, so the newsletter in the email inbox or in the channels in the tool, so they don't miss out on those information and they can't opt out, or give them the option to pull the information as they need it as self-service. And get your intelligence experts or departments involved. There is a real opportunity to streamline all intelligence delivery services for experts so they don't have to work in various systems and tools, and your stakeholders will get streamlined and consolidated views. Again, it's another way for you to become real advisors to the business, delivering meaningful intelligence. Now we have a few minutes for questions. Let me check the chat box here. Is it possible to brand the newsletter to match my corporate identity? Yes, you can. You can fully customize the newsletters using these HTML templates. There is another question on the newsletter. Is the number of newsletter you can create limited? No, you can create as many as you want, really depending on your use case and how many different target audiences you want to serve. Just to give you an example, we have customers who have around 80 newsletters or so, really set up to serve a large number of business stakeholders across the different business units. This is actually an example from one of our healthcare clients. So you can really set them up based on the segment or category or therapeutic area you're serving. Good. Before closing the session, I'd like to give you a quick outlook on what we have in the pipeline for these delivering insights capabilities. AI-powered news summarization, auto alerts, and newsletter creation. So really have the AI consolidate and summarize multiple news on topics to easily and quickly digest. AI assistant for answering business questions with generative AI, deep sites. Ask natural language questions and get the immediate answers back based on your trusted knowledge and data. So no hallucinations, making up answers, but this really gives you reliable answers. If you're interested, get in touch by using this QR code here on the screen. That's it for today. Please do join us next time on August 22nd, when we will dive into research management and automation and how you can streamline processes and saving time. We'll be in contact via email with the recording in case you want to rewatch at any point. If you have any follow-up questions, please reach out. You do see the contact here on the slide. Again, thank you so much for joining, and see you on our next episode. Bye.